Hey, it's Mark Andrews, and here we are at the end. The last 25 questions on the summer study guide. All these questions are related to mechanics, and we will be referring to the OCFOA mechanics guide, which differs in length from the CFOA mechanics book, but everything in the CFOA mechanics book is in the OCFOA mechanics book. Let's get started. Okay, question 76. I'm going to move a lot quicker through these questions than I did through the rules questions. Some of these just really, I don't know. I don't want to say they don't matter, but they don't matter. They're not that significant. So we're just going to go through it very quickly. Okay, this is one of the ones. In five-person mechanics on a kickoff, the referee is positioned on our goal line, on the head linesman's sideline, on the bottom of the numbers. And refers to page 46. And here's the starting position for the referee. And this says that the referee can be anywhere between the hash marks and the numbers. The thing you want to come out of here with is that if you're in a five-person mechanic, the referee should be shading towards the head linesman side. The head linesman's on the 30, and the referee needs to cover the pylon. So, you know, it depends on how fast he feels, but he's got to cover the pylon in case that ball goes right over the pylon. So the answer to this question is true. All right. Question number 77. The basic position for a referee for a play from scrimmage is 12 to 14 yards deep and 12 to 14 yards wide. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Basic positions. Referee. Be in a position 12 to 14 yards deep and 12 to 14 yards wide. So that one is true. Let's move on. 78. The 40 and 25 second count is winding down. The back judge should A. Raise his arm with 10 seconds left. B. Raise his arm with 5 seconds left. C. Raise his arm with 5 seconds left, and then motion the remaining time with a parallel motion. Okay, let's take a look. Got to move around this thing. 37 is the place we want to go. Yeah, game timing, back judge. Okay, here we go. Be there. When 5 seconds remain in the 40 to 25 second count, raise one arm over the head and then lower your arm parallel and use a visual motion sideways to count down to the last 5 seconds. All right. So obviously the answer to this question is C. Moving on. Question 79. I'm trying to get to the page as we go. 79. The flank official that the motion man starts away from will have primary responsibility for the player until the snap. The opposite official should assist if an obvious foul occurs. Okay, so if we look at head linesman D, responsibility for the legality of a motion man when he is on your side of the snapper until the snap. So what they're talking about is, you know, we got receivers split. All of a sudden, one of the receivers goes in motion. You are responsible, either as head linesman or line judge, for determining whether the receiver started up the field before the snap. Now, if he's coming towards you and you see it obviously, go ahead and throw the flag. Okay, it's not 100%, but the mechanic says whatever official the receiver started on is responsible for the legality of that motion. Okay, question number 80. During a timeout, each flank official moves to a position halfway between the ball and his respective sideline and observes his team on the sideline. In our book, it says take a position halfway between your team and its team area. So it's a little different, but the reality is what we're telling you is to be close to the team, have an eye on the back judge when he signals that they have 20 seconds left. Get him out. And you want to be listening to the coaches. You might hear what the next play is going to be. You might hear that somebody's doing something they don't want him to do. Anyway, be within earshot and be visible. Okay, the answer to this question is true. All right. 81. In a 5-person mechanic for the coin toss, the referee escorts to the center of the field the team whose team box is on the opposite side of the change. In other words, he's escorting the team that's on this the sideline. That's where the press box is. Kind of a weird way to put it. And that is true, believe it or not. Now, as you can see, the referee escorts the home captains to the middle of the field. The home team is generally on the press box side. A lot of referees do not do this. They wait in the middle of the field. That's kind of old school. But by mechanic, they are supposed to escort the team captains to the center of the field. So the answer to this question is true. All right, 82. In 5-person mechanics, on a goal line play, A is going in. With a snap inside the 5-yard line, at the snap, the flank officials release to the goal line and officiate back to the ball. Okay, I like this one. Okay, so this is called goal line mechanics, right? And so normally we as a flank official, we're going to judge first of all the snap. Then we're going to go to our tackle to look to make sure he's performing legal actions or he's not being fouled. In this case, as soon as we determine that we have a legal snap, we go directly to the goal line. And we should be about 3 to 6 feet behind, to the side of that pylon. You do not want to be on the pylon. So if we look at the goal line plays, head linesman and line judge, initial position must be wide, out of bounds, and off the sideline. When the ball is snapped at or inside the 5-yard line, move toward the goal line at the snap and rule on the score or an accurate forward point when you see the ball. So this is going to be one of the few cases where you're going to be in front of the play, and if the ball carrier goes down, you have to officiate back. Not a hard thing to do. You're just going to spot the ball with your eyes. You got to be careful here. There are a lot of plays at the pylon. You do not want to be involved in that play, and that's why I'm telling you to step back. But the answer to this question is true. All right, question 83. When an offense is in a trips formation, the back judge's keys are... Okay, so for you new guys, I want you to understand what trips is. Trips means there's 3 receivers to one side or the other of the line of scrimmage. So in this picture right here, we have trips to the line judge side. I'm sorry, to the head linesman side. And as you can see from the arrows, the back judge has the 2 receivers on the inside, and the head linesman has the widest receiver. This can change as the play develops. It's possible that one of these guys is just going to kind of drift over to the sideline, at that point, the head linesman would take that receiver, and the back judge would take the two guys going deep. So, you know, it's not hard and fast, but initial keys, the back judge has the two inside receivers. So the answer to that question is true. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, it's C. Two inside receivers. All right. Okay, question 84. I don't like this question. Be really honest with you. I don't think it's keyed correctly, but I can see why there's confusion. So, 84. In five-person mechanics on a kickoff, the back judge is responsible for determining whether K has at least four players on each side of the kicker when the ball is kicked. And that is exactly what our mechanics say. Determine that there are at least four players on each side of the kicker when the ball is kicked. So you would think that'd be true, but this is keyed false, and it's a misunderstanding. They're pointing at Casebook 614, the comment. Go ahead and take a look at it. What it's saying is that the referee should not signal ready for play until there are at least four players on either side of the kicker. And of course, if the referee determines that there were not four players on either side of the kicker when the ball is kicked, he can certainly throw his flag and sound his whistle. But the primary responsibility is the back judge. So mark your answer B, but the answer is really A. Okay? I'm sorry to do that to you, but we got to go along with what CFOA gives us, and this just happens to be one that we don't agree on. So mark the question B. Okay, question 85. Regardless of the number of officials for varsity contests, officials should arrive at least 30, 60, or 90 minutes before scheduled game time. And that's covered on page 22, the very first line. All members of the officiating crew should arrive no later than an hour and a half prior to the scheduled kickoff. Hour and a half is 90 minutes. Don't screw this one up, especially you new guys. Get there earlier than 90 minutes, okay? I know 90 minutes sounds like a long time, but it'll get away from you so fast. Give yourself the luxury of a little extra time, and you'll have a better game experience. But the answer here is C, 90 minutes. All right, question 86. In five-person mechanics on a field goal attempt from any distance, the flank official, who is facing the referee, has the responsibility for the entire line of scrimmage, and the other flank official is with the back judge to rule on the success of the kick. Okay, so that is on page 81. Okay. Flank official facing the referee is responsible, right here, responsible for the legality of the snap and the entire line of scrimmage. Quickly move to the goal line if a run develops. After the kick, move onto the field and observe dead ball action. Okay. Flank official on the back side of the referee, responsible for the upright goal post. Okay, so this question is true. Those of you who are not crew officials, there will be times when the white hat is going to direct the umpire to go underneath, and that's okay. That's up to his discretion. But the standard mechanic is the one described here. All right, so the answer there is A, true. Let's go down to 87. In five-person mechanics on a scrimmage kick, that's okay, a punt generally, the head linesman releases from the line of scrimmage after the ball has crossed the neutral zone and then moves slowly downfield, covering his side between the neutral zone and the deep receivers. Okay, let's look at page 76. Okay, we're talking about the head linesman. So he has a bunch of responsibilities, and one of them is to make sure the ball crosses the line of scrimmage. So you're gonna observe the blocking and action around the team's eligible players. That means on your side there's usually a flyer. There's usually one guy that's going to try to get down there quick, and a lot of times the defenders will try to impede him, and sometimes illegally by holding him. So you've got responsibility for that. You do want to proceed somewhat slowly. You don't want to be, walking, but you do want to be observing your keys, which are the outside 3 or 4 players. So observe the action, make sure that the blocking is legal, that there aren't any holds, and then you're going to rule on progress. So the answer here is A, true. Okay, number 88. In 5-person mechanics on pass plays, this official has primary responsibility for the receivers inside the widest receivers, right, tight end or slot, but switches to zone coverage after the snap. So we're back to keys again, and let's take a look at page 52. So we're going to go right here. The back judge's main positional key is the inside most eligible receiver on the strong side of the formation. So that's what they're getting at. So if I have a balanced formation, then the back judge is going to have the inside receiver on the line judge side. Head linesman gets both receivers on his side. Us head linesmen get picked on. The answer here is C, the back judge. Okay, so just try to remember the back judge always has the inside receivers. Okay, and typically the flank officials will have the outside receivers and also potentially a back who comes out of the backfield for a pass. All right, so we got a lot to do, but the answer to 88 is C. Question 89. In 5-person mechanics, on sweeps towards his sideline, the flank should. Okay, so imagine this, guys. You're standing there on the line of scrimmage, right? And here comes a sweep towards you. All right, right here. If the runner is headed towards your sideline, allow the play to go past you. You move into the offensive backfield if necessary. So what I'm trying to get, I'm talking to you new guys. You're on the line of scrimmage. Here comes a sweep. It's coming right at you. Don't try to go downfield and stay in front of it. Take 2-3 slide steps towards the backfield and officiate from behind. Okay? We want you to be safe, and believe it or not, you're going to have a better look at what happens and potential fouls. So the answer to this question is A, step backwards towards the offensive backfield, allow the player to pass him, and then follow the play down the sideline. Okay, question number 90. The kicker's restraining line for onside or pooch kickoffs should be officiated as a plane, and any player other than the kicker or holder breaking the plane before the ball is kicked should be called for encroachment. Boy, I hope all you guys that aren't first-year officials already know the answer to this. I've just been pounding this one for years on the Players of the Week videos. Anyway, It's right here. An onside kick, kicker's restraining line should be officiated as a plane. So, yes, new guys, if any part, a hand, a knee, anything breaks that plane, treat it like a sheet of glass. If it touches that glass, there should be a flag for encroachment. All right, moving on. Okay, question 91. While in shotgun formation, an offensive lineman may legally block below the waist if the offensive player who is lined up in the free blocking zone is in a 2-point stance. Again, if anybody but the new guys doesn't know the answer to this one, you're not paying attention. The only way you can have a legal block, there's many factors for a legal block below the waist in shotgun or pistol, and one of them is the offensive player has to be in a 3 or 4 point stance. So the answer to question number 91 is false. Number 92. When the flanks read pass, they are to, let's see, we'll go to page 71. Remain on the line of scrimmage until the pass crosses the neutral zone. Drift downfield cautiously for the first 5 or 7 yards, approximately halfway between the flat zone and the deepest receiver on their respective sides. So flank officials, drift downfield cautiously for the first 5 or 7 yards, approximately halfway between the flat zone. All right, so the answer to 92 is B. Okay, question 93. After enforcement of a penalty, the umpire remains over the ball until the referee gives the ready for play signal or is released by the referee. This one's kind of a tricky one because if you went to penalty enforcement in the mechanics manual, you wouldn't find this. It's under our general duties, the pre-snap duties. This is, in other words, the umpire could stand over the ball after any play, but after the enforcement of a penalty, generally we got things moving, so it's more likely that he would stand over the ball, but this can happen at any point in the game. So the answer to number 93 is A, true. Okay, question 94. Regardless of the number of officials prior to the start of the game, the head coach shall be responsible for verifying to the referee, in the presence of another official, that's generally the umpire, all the players on the team are legally equipped and in compliance with the rules. So they changed this rule. It used to be just the umpire and the referee. They changed the rule to allow any other official can be in the presence with the referee and get this verification. This is under Section 3, officiating procedures before entering the field. And you'll see here, it says, remind the head coach, come on, of equipment rule requirements and a certification that all players are legally equipped according to the rule. I'll fix that. It's not layers, it's players. Okay, so the answer to that question is true. Okay, question 95. In 4-person mechanics on a scrimmage kick, the line judge is positioned 7 to 10 yards wider than and in front of the deepest receiver, in position to cover his sideline as well as the kick. The head linesman covers all kicks to their side. All right, if we go to the scrimmage kick positioning, we see that the line judge begins the play 3 to 5 yards behind the deepest receiver. We would never want to be in front of the receiver. That doesn't make sense. So the answer to this question is false. Okay, we're coming down the home stretch. 96. In 4-person mechanics, just before the kickoff. I don't know why it's just before the kickoff. The umpire is at the R's 20-yard line, outside the sideline, opposite the line judge. So if we look at the mechanics manual here for a free kick, you can indeed see that the umpire is at the 20-yard line, but he is not opposite the line judge. So kind of a tricky question, but the answer is false. This is question 97. In four-person mechanics, the referee checks the 40 or 25-second count and provides a visible count the last 5 seconds of the 40 or 25-second play clock. If we go over here to page 133, we will see the referee. Where is that? The referee will keep the 25 and 40-second clock and provide a visible count for the last 5 seconds of the clock. Okay, so that question is true. Question 98. In four-person mechanics and enforcing penalties, the umpire marches off the penalty. The head linesman proceeds to the succeeding spot. The line judge holds the enforcement spot, and all officials determine if the umpire assesses the penalty properly in all respects. And it refers to section 22 on page 88. Now that is in the five-person mechanics part of the manual. I don't know why they put this here, but that is the procedure for penalty enforcement. So, I don't know if they're trying to trick you or what, but anyway, it's true. Question 99. In four-person mechanics in a punt formation, the line judge is 5 to 7 yards wider than and in front of the deepest receiver, in position to cover the sideline as well as the kick. That's pretty much the same question we had up here, right? Only they said 7 to 10 yards wider and in front. This is false. It's you want to be behind the kicker. I mean the receiver, 3 to 5 yards. So this is 99 is false. And the last question 100. In seven-person mechanics, at the snap, the side judge and the field judge are on their respective sides of the field 20 to 22 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. On running plays, the deep flanks maintain a 10 to 15 yard cushion and have the progress inside the 2-yard line. All right. So we go to field judge. Basic position on the sideline is 20 to 22 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. And then I think somewhere down here you maintain the 10 to 15 yard buffer. Yeah, the answer to this question is true. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Well, that's it for this recap of the 100 questions in the summer study guide from 2021, actually. Boy, what a weird couple of years we've had, right? It's January 2022 right now, and I couldn't release these videos until the season was over for a lot of reasons. But I wanted to put this out there for OCFOA guys that want to review it, and also anybody around the country who maybe you don't get a lot of testing or rules explanation. Feel free to use this in any way you like. If you want to know about the release of upcoming videos, and I'm anticipating there's going to be quite a few coming, click on my picture in the upper right hand corner and then subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you will get a notification when I release videos. If you want to see the playlist of all the testing videos, just click on that list there, the icon there on the left hand side. All right, it's Mark Andrews signing off.